everyone. Hi, everybody. I think I'm going to do the hair videos a little bit more because I see a lot of people like my hair videos. So we'll wait till we get more people in here. Hi, everyone. Hi, everybody. Weird reasons why why your 4C hair is staying thin or it's not growing thick and it's not really growing. You should be able to get a semi big trim and within 6 7 months you got some noticeable length, like you can see the length. So some of y'all can look back on my pictures that I posted in the community news, or if you're on my Facebook you can look at my pictures in which my hair looks very much like Mufasas when I was following the rules that I'm telling y'all. Okay, so my hair is getting very Mufasa like again. But I want to talk to y'all um, how to get hair that thrives like Mufasa, like nice and thick and just really healthy and very manageable and not so thin. So I want to talk about some weird reasons why you're struggling with that. So come on in, y'all. Come on in, everybody. Okay. So one of the main reasons is because your drinks are not hydrating you. Okay. My vegetable broth is better than your water. Okay. When you snack on just plain water, you're not getting your hair hydrated. You're not even getting the extra minerals that you would get from like vegetables. The vitamins you would get from even vegetable broth, you're not getting. Water is really just for mouth wetting and washing up and sealing in moisture, help sealing in moisture. Water is not to hydrate you. So you really should be drinking cups of broth, vegetable broth, even chicken broth if you like chicken between your meals. Okay. So if you're at home, you can warm up some broth, a cup of broth between each meal, and that will help you to get the extra hydration for your hair. I started drinking vegetable broth and even red wine before bed, and I noticed my hair was like softer and easy to manage the next morning. It even looked like it was thriving. I can feel that it was thriving. When I went to reseal, I could tell that it wasn't like it was dying, it was thriving. So consider eating a bowl of mixed berries before you go to bed, drinking a cup of vegetable broth, and drinking drinks that would actually help your hair to thrive, like ginger. So ginger tea, things like that before you go to bed, and mint tea before you go to bed. Okay, so mint, ginger tea, vegetable broth, things with mixed berries in it, like wine if you like red wine, or just like some mixed berry water before you go to bed. Okay, all right. So really know that you're hydrating. Don't guess. Hold on for a minute. I said don't do it in here today. Hansi, don't do that in here today. No, don't say what, Mom. You're about to get in trouble. Don't do it today. Now you wasn't acting up all morning till you saw me get on this live video. Putting my foot down with Hansi now. He's so smart. He'll watch and be like, "Oh, she on a live video, so let me tear up." I'm like, "No, you ain't tearing up today." All right. So here's another thing. You're stripping your hair and resealing from scratch too often. Okay. I recommend that you try to go to the salon more often for a reseal from scratch. So I know some of y'all are like, oh, I reseal my own hair from scratch. I can tell y'all right now that the experts know how to do it better than you. They're licensed in it. So try to do like every other month. You actually have a professional rehydrate and reseal your hair from scratch, meaning shampoo and condition. So maybe this month you do it, next month you get a professional to do it. Okay. I know someone who swears by only going to the salon for their shampoos and conditioning. They refuse to do it themselves. And I notice they always have very even, very healthy hair. And what I think the reason is because when they're getting those shampoos and conditioners in the salons, the stylists, the licensed stylists are not ripping their hair out as they're shampooing. They're not going like this, and they're not being too rough on their hair. If you are stressed and going through stuff in your life, when you go to wash your hair, you're going to be hard on it. Okay. So another thing is when you go to do your hair, you cannot do your hair while stressed. When you feel good about yourself and when you're happy and confident and you have acceptance of your hair, that's when you do your hair. Your hair is like a plant. It can sense the emotions you're putting into the process. So you need to make sure that you're in high vibration before you do your hair, which usually is after you meditate first thing in the morning. If you do your hair tired before you go to bed, you're going to be like upset, underrating it. You're going to be hard on it. So try to do your hair when you're rested, when you have peace in your heart, so that you don't be disciplining it too hard when you're trying to reseal. Now, here's another reason why your hair may not be growing thick. You are a perfectionist. You are trying to do even parts. You're trying to do perfect twists. You're overdoing it. If you notice during the slavery times, they sometimes just had like 5 jumbo or 6 jumbo plaits in her hair, and it wasn't like perfectly even parted. And that's why their hair thrived. Okay, they were making sure that they were not expecting perfectionism with their hair. For example, like mine, all of my hair is not the same size. These are not the same size. Okay, which means I went with my emotions when I was finger coiling. I wasn't like, oh, this all has to be the same size, and I mean it no matter how much hair is growing. Your hair don't even grow the same thickness everywhere on your head. So if you know that your front is not as thick as your top, why would you try to force the front as thick as the top? That makes no sense. So you would still go with the density. So don't try to force sections to be thicker and handling it like it's thicker when it's not. So this is why I let the front of my hair be a little thinner, because there's less hair growing in this section. Also, it's a different grade. The front of my hair is like 4B, 4C. But the top of my hair is more 4B, 4C. But the back is almost all 4C. All of this is like 4C. But here, there's some like 4B mixed in there. So I can't expect to be twisting this with the width that I would twist this. Even if I try, it's not going to look as thick because this has another texture in there. Okay? All right. Also, you can't use the same amount of product on every part of your head, because you may have multiple textures in your hair. So if you know you got 4C back here, then you're probably going to have to use more cream, and it has to be wetter. If you have more 4B, 4C, 4B, and 4A in the front, then you would have to use less cream. Okay, and you can just have it damp rather than really wet. See what I'm saying? So get to know where your textures are blending in with other textures in your head, so you will know how much product to use per part of your head. Okay? If the front of your hair is growing slow, then most likely that's the front, that's the part that needs to be detoxed most of all. So you probably should be refreshing the front on like twice a week, even if you don't refresh the back. The fact that this part grows slower, okay, I'm just giving an example. There could be some extra fungus or bacteria that's causing this slow growth. So you probably need to detox the front. Never skip on that on a weekly basis. I started to figure out when I figured out this part grows faster than this part on my hair. But I noticed when my hair gets itchy, it's most of the time in here. Yet it's growing the slowest. So this is the part that I need to exfoliate and make sure it has a good detox when I'm refreshing. This is also the part I have to make sure stays very well hydrated. Otherwise, it's going to break. It's more likely to break out here and here, from here to here in my hair, because it's the slowest and the weakest part of my hair, the more fragile. So this part, I have to make sure that I'm not letting it get too crispy. Otherwise, I'm going to get some breakage. Okay? So look at the thinnest part and the most fragile parts of your hair and make sure that you're pampering that part when you're doing your hair. You're giving it some extra pampering. Another reason why your hair is not growing thick, even though you have 4C, is because your snacks are not high in vitamin B7 or B12, or your snacks don't have magnesium and vitamin D in it. So you need to make sure you're snacking on things that actually grow your hair. So like sunflower seeds, a mixed bag of seeds, cucumbers, zucchini. You have to come at this at all angles if your hair is in struggle energy. One way you know your hair is in struggle energy is that even on a refresh, you're seeing a lot of shedding. You should not see a lot of shedding on a refresh. Okay? You should have to go like 2 weeks before you'll see like a clump of hair. Okay? On a refresh, you should be like, oh, this a little bit of hair, like a little bit come out. If you see a clump on a weekly refresh, then your body is starved of a certain vitamin. Normally it's magnesium, vitamin D, or vitamin B12 that's causing this extra shedding. If you cannot go outside to get vitamin D, you need rose water's fine, but rosemary is better. We're going to get into that, okay? Now, here's the thing. If you are saying someone is qualified to teach you because their hair is long, you're tripping, because long don't mean healthy. Someone can have long hair and have plenty of split ends and be disguising it by how they braided it and how they twisted it. The people you want to listen to is the people that will finger coil their hair, because finger coils don't lie, okay? Finger coils reveal the health of your hair. You can't hide it. That's why I like things. See, these are finger coils. See? When the finger coils look healthy, you know the person's hair is healthy. So the 2-strand twist allows people to hide every little raggedy end, every little short raggediness going on in it. This is why I like to finger coil my hair, because when I'm finger coiling, I can tell if something is just resistant to the seal. Okay, I don't have to force it in like a 2-strand twist. So test your hair with a finger coil, at least twice a month through finger coil, so you will see if the hair is manageable with your seal. If it's in struggle energy with sealing, you need a trim, or you need to go through a hydration process. You need to get a good clarifying of your hair And you need to be hydrating your hair every 2 weeks so that the hair doesn't go out wiry like this. Your hair, even on the finger curl, should just go right like that. Okay? It should even be able to do it just with some flaxseed gel. Boom. Okay? If you're like, no, your hair is not healthy. Okay? I used to think that my hair was thriving when I would go get 2-strand twists. I'd be like, yeah, it's thriving. But then as soon as I would wear it in an afro, I would see all these raggedy ends. And when it dry, I would see raggedy ends here, there. And I'm like, see, this ain't good. But once I got all the dead ends cut off, my afro was laying real nicely layered when it dried, and the finger curls would work like that. Okay? All right. So rosemary is better than rose water because rosemary is still a psyllid. I know we think of rosemary as just something that grows our hair, that detoxes it, that stops fungus, but it's also a psyllid because it's a moisturizing oil. Okay? So it's everything in one. It's a scalp detoxer, it's a moisturizer, and it's also helps with elasticity. Okay, which means if you have heat damage in your hair, rosemary would work to repair the bounce back of your hair. So this is why rosemary need to be something that you use almost every 3-4 days in your week. Okay, on your refresh, you should always use rosemary. If you notice, the most high-end products like design essentials have rosemary in it. If you notice that, like when you buy their tonics, when you buy these detox tonics by these elite companies, one of the ingredients that is always in it is rosemary. They often have rosemary and peppermint in it. If they're putting it in $25 bottle products, you know that it is a valuable oil. It also stops shedding. If your hair is overshedding from stress, it stops the stress of your hair. Okay, it calms like the nerves in your hair so that your hair will stop overshedding. Anytime I see hair fall when I comb through my hair, and I actually do not use a comb unless it is, I'm doing a deep refresh. I don't like combs. I avoid them unless it's like a real deep refresh I'm doing, and my hair is like really, really soft and it's like really, really wet. Other than that, my refresh is done only with my fingers. Okay. So another thing is you cannot expect to not have breakage when you have fingernails and you're using your fingers like this. So consider the fact that you need to have a round tip of your fingernails, or you need to keep your fingernails low. And that's just the truth, okay? If there's a lot of inches on your fingernails and you're going like this and you have sharp ends to your nails, you're like semi-cutting your micro strands of your hair as you're going like this. So really you should be going like this, okay? Going like this. And if you're going to go like this, you, like I said, no fingernails, or your nails need to be rounded. Okay, we talked about that. Hansi, don't start that in here, man. Hans, hold on, y'all. Hansi, don't start that. Hansi in here acting up already. Okay. Now, here's another reason why your hair won't be thick like this. Okay, why I can't get this thick even though you're 4C. Your grains are not abundant. Grains are very important for keeping your hair strong. So if you're just eating just like bread, that's not working. You should actually be eating a seed bread, like a whole grain bread that actually has seeds in it. I have a friend whose hair grows super fast and her hair is all nice and thick. It's a male, and he only eats bread with seeds in it. When I would snack on seeds all day, my hair was growing so fast in my 20s that it was like people were asking me if I had weave. Like people were like, "Is that a weave?" But I I was cruising with cranberry juice and seeds all day. So consider snacking on almonds and seeds. I'm actually on my way to the store after my little workout to get me some cranberries, almonds, and some seeds so I can go back to them being my regular snack. Another thing I was snacking on is tuna. Back when my hair like never needed trims, you would think I was getting trims because it was like always so straight and even all the time. I was snacking on tuna. I can remember just cracking open a can of tuna in the middle of the day, in the between meals, and just eating it right out the can. So consider having small game fish as your actual snack. Even if you eat too much protein over your protein daily amount required, your body's just going to release it anyway. So there's no big deal. It's better to have too much protein than very little protein because your hair thrives definitely on protein. So make one of your snacks protein and the other snacks need to be vitamin B7 or magnesium or vitamin D snacks. Okay? Zucchini, cucumbers, seeds as your other snack. So I noticed the shedding of my hair slowed down to a screeching halt, like no shedding, when I started eating zucchini over the last 2 weeks. So I'm about to have zucchini soon today as a snack with some seeds and some cranberries as a snack. Um, so maybe you need to have more whole grain that has seeds in it. If you ever look at some of the white girls when they show their morning breakfast and they have long hair, they're eating this oatmeal that's literally stacked with seeds and nuts. So you can actually put half the amount of oatmeal in your bowl, 150 calories of oatmeal, and then let the other amount of grains be just seeds and nuts and cranberries. That way you're getting that vitamin 7 in from the other stuff. Okay? So do that. I would rather eat 1/4 cup of oatmeal and the rest of it just be seeds, berries, and cranberries. Like this, just half a cup of it just stacked on top, just to make sure I get that vitamin B7 in for the day. When my long hair started to fall out in clumps, the doctor told me I had vitamin B deficiency and vitamin D. If you notice when you overeat like cucumbers and you overeat zucchini, like if you just fire on like two cucumbers a day, you will notice your hair is thriving. Cucumbers is like low key a superfood for hair growth. So you may want to make cucumber water several days a week. Whenever my hair is just like in straight up struggling energy, I run to broccoli. I start firing on broccoli, cucumbers, and sunflower seeds. Those are my go-to foods to stop my hair from growing slow when it's like just in so struggling. Right now, my hair is the healthiest it's been in years because I do maintenance on my hair as far as refresh. I refresh my hair every 4 days. I know y'all saying, Miss V, I ain't got that to do. Look, the white girls are leaving y'all in the dust. Do y'all think they going a whole week without refreshing their hair? No. I'm just keeping it real. I'm just keeping it real. Stop complaining and refresh your hair every 4 to 7 days. Stop complaining, okay? And get that weekly refresh in. You'll notice your hair is not shedding as much. You'll notice that you don't complain about itching anymore. Because if you put oils in your hair that made you itch, you didn't refresh them out, okay? By the seventh day, most of your oils and greases have aged in your hair. So some of it needs to be lifted. So your hair will release on the refresh what it doesn't need anymore. So when you refresh every 4 to 7 days, you'll notice that as you're squeezing and rinsing, all of it's not coming out. Your hair is telling you, I need the rest of this product. I'm letting you rinse some of this out because I don't need the extra that you put in right now. I need some more new, okay? You can keep the old, but some of the old has to go every week. So, hi everybody. I don't really drink okra water. I drink vegetable broth. That's my go-to. Raspberry, blueberry, water, hydration water, and vegetable broth. Okay. You can actually do a 3-day fast easily on vegetable broth because it's just supreme like that at hydrating you. Like, try it one day. Be like, I'm just going to fire on some bone broth, vegetable broth, chicken broth. Just do that for 3 days. You'll be like, this fast is easy to do because the hydration, when you're hydrated, your hunger level go down. See what I'm saying? So, think about the animals in the sea. The ones that have the long tentacles. If you ever notice, they can get more water than the other fish. When you look at the jellyfish, it's like open, right? The water is flowing through the jellyfish. So that's why the jellyfish has such long tentacles, like its hair is long. The octopus will literally sit on the bottom of the ocean for long periods of time and bathe in the water. Okay? So if we see those sea fishes thriving, we need to do the same thing. If you're peeing through your day, sweating through your day, through your workouts, you're sweating in your sleep, you need to hydrate a lot. Now, here's what I found out also grows your hair, and most people don't know. HIT does. Okay? Human growth hormone boosts the other hormones as well. When you do HIT, you get a boost of estrogen and you get a boost of human growth hormone. And you use a lot of your estrogen as you're doing HIT. It gives you a boost, and then at one point you're using it. You will find that you're looking younger, your hair is growing faster. So even if you got to do HIT indoors, several days a week do HIT. There are times where I be going hard on HIT, and I will show up on the channel, and y'all be like, Miss V, you looking younger, your hair looks healthier. HIT is like a total game changer. Young people are doing HIT more than us. When you see these little kids with hair thriving, they're doing HIT. They're doing HIT and not knowing that they're doing HIT. The young girls automatically have high human growth hormone. So that's why they're getting the benefits of it without doing HIT. But when you're over 35 and you're a woman, your human growth hormone is not nearly as high as the young women. So you need to do HIT for the sake of your whole feminine energy. Your hair, your skin getting firm. Now, diet, okay? What I found out is the morning diet will literally have a lot of say on whether your hair is going to thrive, because your morning and lunch, because your body may be still in that process of absorbing protein and food to build muscle. So Your first your first meal of the day, try to make sure that you're having whole grain fruit. What I have is a half a cinnamon bagel with strawberry jelly and butter. That's what I have. Now, that's all I have as my morning meal. Sometimes I may throw an egg in there, one egg. That's a pick me up meal. And the rest of my stuff will be hydration stuff, like tea that hydrates me, broth. I may have a cup of coffee for autophagy. Now, here's the thing. If you're like, I don't eat when I wake up, but I drink coffee, your coffee needs to be nutty and fruity. So don't just drink any old coffee. You got to get coffee that literally has like the Colombian coffee. If you ever notice in the movies when you listen to the celebrities say they want coffee, they always say like Colombian roast. They're always saying coffee that is like from the islands or Dominican Republican coffee. So consider like looking up the coffee that the celebrities are drinking, and then like just get the same coffee. You know, get the same coffee as J Lo if she drink coffee. Get the same coffee of the celebrities, because their nutritionist is making sure they're drinking quality coffee that will grow their hair and keep them young. So I got me some dark roasted country sunrise. Okay. The dark roasted is actually the best, but a lot of people can't take dark roasted. So you might want to get medium coffee if you like coffee. Now, I only drink coffee like 3 days a week only, because coffee, if the days that you're having a lot of fruit, you should not be drinking coffee, because then you're just like, you know, like cracking the whip on your heart, and you don't want to do that. So I find that when I'm not eating much fruit that day, I'm not juicing it up, then I'll include some coffee. But if I'm going to have 3 to 4 servings of juice that day, I'm not going to drink coffee. See what I'm saying? So what I found out recently is your heart health helps to decide whether your hair is going to thrive. And if it's your heart health, it also means you have to be careful who you love, who you're intimate with, who you let in touch you. Cats don't let anybody touch them. Cats can rule the heart chakra. Mufasa rules the heart chakra. Okay? The heart chakra instinct could be Mufasa. So if you ever notice, cats will go real fast, and then they'll go slow, and they'll rest, and then they'll go real fast again. The most fit, solid feeling cats, like my cat Hansi and my cat Flick, they will literally go fast as hell through this house at least twice a day, and then they'll just go slow. Okay. So think about your heart health. If you eat for your heart, you're eating for your hair. The circadian clock and the elements don't lie. So eat for your heart, breathe for your heart, and you breathe for your hair. So consider doing red fruit breathing. Get you some roses in your house sometime. Burn you some dragon fruit candles. Burn you candles that's for energy, like the one that's right here that I have in front of me. I know you think it's crazy, like breathing scents can grow your hair, but they can. It's stimulation. The things you breathe in stimulates certain chakras, and those chakras rule certain parts of your body. So if you breathe in certain things in abundance, that's for the chakras that would grow your hair, then your hair is going to want to grow. I know this sounds like, wow. This is why I find that one of the best spiritual practices is being a Zotherian. People love to say, oh, that's obsolete, that's ancient, that's outdated. But the Zotharians, they look pretty good, okay? They look pretty good. So you need to start sniffing a lot. Cats are sniffers. Mufasa is a sniffer. So consider just going to the flower markets and just sniffing and sniffing and sniffing. I love to fill my room with lavender and dragon fruit and, just really get it going. So I wear certain stones that would grow my hair, that would have peace in my mind so my hair will grow and stay thick. So the stone I'm wearing right now is an amethyst. So some of y'all might want to wear tiger's eye, the stone of Leo. If you're like, my hair won't grow thick. So you might want to wear tiger's eye. If you're not motivated to do your hair, if you're not confident enough to love your hair and to exercise, you want to wear a tiger's eye stone. If you are fighting with self-love, loving what you got, or just really just being gentle on yourself as you're doing self-care, gentle with you, you want to use an amethyst stone like I'm wearing right now. Okay. Hi, everybody. Yeah. So, the reason why some people's hair is leaving your hair in the dust is because they're eating the foods, a lot of those foods. Plus they're putting it all in their hair. Plus they're washing up with it. So they're just kind of like dominating the hair, the hair game. I never really had problem with thick hair, having thick hair. I never really had problems with that. But I think it's because I literally, for many, many years, was someone that would eat lots of kale. I would eat so much kale that my family was like, your kale is taking up the whole icebox. Like, that was my go-to food for years. I would say, daughter, let's have some kale. I would offer people kale when they came. So my daughter, she still eats her kale, and her hair is nice and thick and long. Just nice and thick and strong. Here's another thing that I found out about 4C hair. 4C hair, that like when you moisturize your hair, you need to make sure that those ends are very, very slippery before you even think of twisting them. If they're still a little rough when you're twisting, you're probably going to make the ends weak when you twist it, and then they're going to snap easy when they dry. So make sure that you're like smooth, like you got to literally smooth it. It should be like all the way past the tip, and then it's ready, ready to twist. Don't just say, oh, I put the product in, I did a little bit of this, and I'm good. No, it actually needs to be smoothing. If you ever look at the Chebe women on YouTube, they're going like this with their long hair. They're literally making sure their hair is super slippery before plaiting it. Okay? This is going to stop your ends from breaking when they dry. This is going to make sure that the sealing gets into the hair and not just lay on top of the hair. Some of the stuff is going to lay on top, but you want some of it to get into the hair. Some of y'all refuse to wet y'all hair on a weekly basis, and y'all like, oh, my hair ain't growing. Stop running from water. Water is your best friend. You should be like, every time your hair feel like dry on the third or fourth day, be like, water, oil, then cream to the rescue. Okay? If your body felt real dry on the fourth day, you would hop in the shower or just wet your body and moisturize, right? It's the same thing with your hair. If you're being lazy with your hair, you can't expect it to get nice and thick. Okay? When your hair is getting nice and thick, it's a sign that it's thriving. If it doesn't, you're supposed to have thick hair. If you don't have thick hair in your 4C, something's not right in your diet or with the process you're using. Okay? So you need to look into that. Here's another thing. Do your hair so that your thickness shines through. Okay? You don't see I didn't do my hair and go, I'm trying to get these as skinny as I want them to be. See, that's kind of like low key 4C hair hate. Okay? Stop trying to have your hair look like thin Jerry curl Italian women hair. Let your hair swell up. Put down the anti-shrinkage stuff. The shrinkage is what's needed to seal moisture. When you use anti-shrink stuff, you're not getting the moisture. You're not. You saying you want the water to run down, yet you don't even produce enough sebum to even get away with that. Okay, the people that have oily hair all the time, they're producing more sebum as well as the products they're putting in their hair. This is why they can shampoo and condition their hair every other day. If you don't produce a lot of sebum like some white people's hair can, then you really should not be trying to like use anti-shrinkage stuff. When my hair was thriving years ago, like it's thriving again right now, I was like a shrink queen. I never used elongated stuff. I never was like, oh no, I don't want my hair to get wet because shrinkage. And plenty of men wanted to talk to me. Good looking guys, young guys in their 20s, 30s. I've met plenty of men looking like this. I've had plenty of men say, oh, you're gorgeous. With my hair nice and thick. Nice and thick, nice and shrunk. I know some of y'all think they're going to look past me. I'm telling you no lie, there are some men that love to see the thickness of your hair. Love it. I've had Indian men when my hair was like down to here, but super thick and shrunk. I remember like super fine Indian men, like thirsty, okay, smiling at me like this when I'd be walking through downtown Pittsburgh, and I would be like, look at this thirst. And up until then, I thought nobody's gonna like my hair thick and shrunk. I have pictures of me at a popular nightclub with some friends, and my hair is like this, shrunk, coolly, not perfectly twisting, 2-strand twist, and plenty of fine men was coming over, kissing my hand, sending me drinks. So, Hansi, get down from there. So, stop being hair thickness paranoid. When you try to force your hair out of the thickness, you're saying you don't want thick hair. That's what you're saying. Only time you're supposed to be like kind of like hard on your twist is when you're like, okay, I don't feel the moisture getting in. And then what I normally do is I'll just refresh that section and then seal from the start while it's dripping wet. And then boom, I can feel the sealing going in. You have to assess the seal as you're doing it. Okay? You can't just say I put the product in and now it's sealed. You actually have to assess it. So for example, this one right here, see? Because this is the side that I sleep on most of all, this is going to be, I sleep on this side of my hair like this or like this. So of course, this is going to be the side that wants to be resistant to seal. I sleep on it too much. So maybe 3 days a week, I'm just going to kind of reseal that, or I may need to use a grease as a double seal. Since this is the grayer, there's a lot of gray towards the middle and the front of my hair, I probably need to also use a little bit of grease to help to seal, like I just did. Okay? I used a little bit of the Blue Magic grease there. So don't be afraid to be like, okay, this part dries too fast. This part sucks up the product, so maybe I'll add a little bit of grease there. Just like when you would do your plant. When you take care of your plant, you assess the leaves, right? You look at what part of the plant is thriving, what part is greedy. You have parts of your hair that's greedier for the product, sucking up most of the product. So that's why they're thriving more. That's why it's thriving more. Okay? Usually the part of your brain that you use a lot of is sucking up a lot of the product. So if you use a lot of the left side of your brain, the left side of your hair is probably going to be the driest. Okay, it's going to dry out faster. Okay, so now you do have to be careful who you let trim your hair. Because look, I want to show y'all something. Look at that. Look at the difference in length. Okay, because I went to a hairstylist recently, and somewhere in her warped mind, she thought that I wanted a tapered trim, because that's what she had. Even though I told her I don't want my side short, she still did it. So let's say you be like, oh, the stylist cut my hair uneven. Do not go and get your hair cut even. Don't go get a double cut. That's too much cutting. Like you're going to shock your hair. Just wait until it grows in, and then get it trimmed to the longest part. So you would just wait till this grow in, and this is at the longest part is at the length that you're comfortable with all your hair being, and then get the rest of it cut at that length. Tell them this. Say, find the longest part of my hair. The longest part. And if the rest of it is almost that length, then just cut it all down to that length. But tell them I don't want none of my hair shorter than that length. Don't cut any of my hair a lot shorter than the longest part of my hair, because then it's going to take longer for the short parts to catch up to the long. See, that will confuse your hair growth. Your hair could get confused, could be like, why did you cut me real short here and cut me real long there? See, you got to stop doing that. Tell them when you go to the stylist and you get your trims, say any parts that are already short, do not trim them as much as I said the long parts. If I say I want a 3-inch trim, that don't mean on the short parts. That means only on the long parts. Only on the dead end long parts. It better be long. Other than that, keep the short hair until it grows in. Okay? So, I'm not getting another trim for maybe about 2 years, because then this will be like down to here. This will probably be down to here. This is going to be here. This is going to be here. So then if I ever want it all even, I'll be comfortable with it, because, hey, it'll be here. It'll be here. All of it will be here. So if you're like, when do I get my trims? Decide on the length of the shortest part of your hair. If you say this is still too short, no trims. Say, I got to wait till the short part of my hair is long before I even think of getting a trim. Okay? Because if you don't wait and you don't say anything to the stylist, she's going to cut the long hair down to the length of your short hair, even if your short hair is still really short. See? Yeah, because that's what happened to me. So it's important to share your hair cutting, hair appointment mistakes, so that other people don't make the same mistakes. So if your hair is real short in the back or short on the sides, do not get a trim until it's like here. Okay, like here, and then you'll have new growth. First of all, I don't know where this came from. Your hair splits all the way up when you get dead ends. If you got a trim already and you're not like using alcohol in your hair all the time, you don't need to worry about splitting all the way up. My daughter hasn't had a haircut in 10 years. And if y'all see her hair flat iron, it's nice and long and healthy. It's uneven in some sections, but it's nice and long and healthy. Why? Because she does not put products in that dry out her hair, so she does not overcut it to throw it in hibernation, and she makes sure that her ends are sealed. So I think the hair has a way of coming out when it's so broken anyway. So really, you can let your hair do the job. You don't have to run for these scissors. Our ancestors did not have sharp scissors. I don't know where that came from. I think that's like wild that we're like, oh, dead end, haircut. No, just dust your end. Just a little snip. That's it. You could do it yourself. Just a little snip. That's it. You have to I found out that once you get into cutting more than 3 inches of your hair literally just goes, and it says maybe I shouldn't grow. And then you'll notice it's like 2 months before the growth cycle starts again. So if you just do like an inch cut every couple months, your growth cycle is going to continue, but your dead ends is gradually being removed, and you're not losing, your hair's not going to look so short because you're just taking an inch off. Now, when you tell the stylist to take an inch off, you need to say, I need to see what your idea is an inch. Ask the stylist, can you show me what you think an inch is? And when they start cutting your hair, say, I would like to see what you cut off. When they cut some of the longest part of your hair, say, stop. I want to see the length of that hair. So that I just know it's really just 1 inch. Matter of fact, I'm going to pull out a ruler and show you the 1 inch. It's sad that you got to do this because some stylists are guessing what an inch is. They're just, you don't have time for that. Okay? So say, this is how much. Like hold your finger up, be like, see this is how much. This is how much. If you see big chunky pieces falling, soon as you see a chunky piece fall, say, no more cutting. No more. Say, because you're paying. Say, I need someone else to trim my hair who understands what only 1 inch is. Because I see 4 inches can't come out. You have to speak up with these stylists, okay? Some of them will cut too much of your hair off and then just start cutting the rest of the hair down to disguise that they cut too much of your hair off and then tell you they had to. Lies. So be like, take a picture of your hair before you go so that you can catch these stylists cutting too much off your hair. Say, I measured my hair before I came. So I will know if I got more than an inch cut off. So the parts of your hair that grow the slowest and the shortest, you need to measure them because you don't want them taking down those parts even shorter. Okay? All right. So if you're like, oh, my hair's not growing, maybe it is, but maybe you keep going to stylists. This keeps cutting too much every time you go. So your hair keeps staying at the same length and you're just thinking that your hair's not growing. The stylist is taking the growth of your hair. So give it a try. Go a couple years without a trim and see what happens. Or go a couple years and learn how to just cut an inch off your hair yourself. Or have a family member do it. Have them show you and have them do it. This way you don't have to worry about, have your daughter do it. Have your man do it. So that you don't have to worry about them just totally disrespecting your hair. Plus, they're trimming your hair with love. When you go to these stylists, you don't know if they don't like you. Like, when you get a random stylist out here, you don't even know if they're jealous of your hair. But if you got your daughter doing it, or your man doing it, or your sister that loves you and respects you, then you're like, I know that they're not going to disrespect my hair length. Okay. Now, this is something else I found out. There's a growth cycle that happens in the middle of the night with your hair. Like a boost in hair growth. If you are woke and stressed out during that time, you're stopping that growth time. So in the middle of the night, it's like late at night, it could be like Sagittarius energy, which is horse energy, fast growing hair. Also, I think Pisces energy, which is also the high priestess, healthy long hair. So if you are doing toxic stuff between 8 p.m. and 3:30 a.m. in the morning, and you're fighting and stressed or whatever, you trifling with your sexual energy, that's going to affect your hair growth. Really, to be honest, you're better off getting your hair done around Sagittarius time, which could be, I think late, right before you go to the club. Okay. So you may want to look up the times, the Arcadian clock zodiac times of the zodiacs that have long hair. You want to look up the time for Leo, Aries, Pisces, Libra, and there's one more. Oh, Cancer. I think Cancer too. So you might want to look up those signs. Sagittarius, I know, definitely the horse. So you want to look up those times. When would the horses be active? I know that horses, they go I think they be racing in the middle of the day. So if the horses are racing in the middle of the day at the horse races, they're probably getting their hair done at 8 a.m. or 7 a.m. or something like that. That's what they probably getting all sexy or whatever. So you may want to, get your hair done in the evening hours before you would go dancing. You don't want to get your hair done at 2 something in the morning. You probably want to get your hair done, if you're going to the club, by 12 a.m. All right. When we used to go clubbing, we would get our hair done at 9, go home and get dressed. We might go to the mall first, get our hair done, or we got our hair done and then hung out at the mall and then went clubbing. We would do that. Get our hair done, go to the mall, get an outfit, and then go clubbing all night. I know y'all think that dancing, it's ridiculous to say dancing grow your hair, but it do. Look at the Native Americans. Okay? When you're celebrating and dancing and all happy and joyful, it encourages growth in you, spiritual growth and hair growth. Get down, Hansi. Stop, butt. You're not getting extra treats. It's way too early for that, babe. You already had some. No. I don't know what you're doing. You're not getting no more. You're acting up for the last 2 hours, bruh. Yo, I got a 2-year-old in here, Hansi. No, stop trying to get to the treats. No, don't scratch on my new purse. Nope. No, but. Okay, y'all. I hope this video helped y'all sleep, take a nap, okay, or dance, celebrate. When you dance and you're doing like high hit dancing, you're boosting human growth hormone. That's going to boost your hair growth. All right? Okay. Bye, everybody. See y'all later. Hope y'all enjoyed the video. I do have a members only video coming today and private videos I'm doing for guidance. I'm not going to be doing public guidance for a while because I feel like I'm being taken advantage of with the spiritual guidance. Um, I should have way more people appreciative of all this guidance I'm putting on this channel. So, I'm going to just do some member videos and some private videos for a while and send the link to people who have emailed me. That way, those are the people that's already showed gratitude and appreciate my spiritual guidance. And that way, I don't have to feel like I'm in codependent energy. I want to save my hard work with spiritual guidance for my new channel, public. So I really don't want to do any more public spiritual guidance on here. I just feel like it's being taken for granted. Too many people are coming, jumping in and out, helping themselves, not sharing the links, not saying thank you, not putting no donations on the live chat. I've gotten one donation on my chat videos over the last few months. If it wasn't for the fact that I had people sending me donations by my PayPal to say thank you, I wouldn't even have this channel up anymore, to be honest. If I wasn't getting gifts away from the channel, I probably would have been deleted this channel. So if you want public spiritual guidance, you're going to have to go to my new channel. And I'm not going to be advertising the link. If you're not in my email already, you're going to have to just find me on YouTube somehow. They say not to post a link to your new channels. So that's what Trey said. He said, don't advertise the link, Learning with Trey. So I'm not going to post a link because I really don't want stalkers and gang stalkers coming to my new channel. I want to do my new channel in peace. Bye, everybody. Thank you for being a part of the channel. If I put stuff on this channel now publicly, it'll be like beauty, hair, or content that I'm giving credit for. I really don't want to put my original spiritual content on this channel no more. All right, not publicly. If you're a member, please check the member videos. I did add some new videos on the members list. So if you're a member, look to see what new videos I added. If you're in my email already, please check your email because I will be sending you some links to my new videos, my private videos, to my new channel, and also to videos that I never make public on this channel. So love the Most High, Anita, I think Wendell. There's a couple other people that's in my email. Okay? I'm not trying to be smart, but if you haven't donated to this channel and you've been watching me already, please don't email me asking me for no video links. Okay? I'm like this now. If people don't care if I eat, free. I don't got nothing free. I'm a minority. I'm a woman of color, over 40. I'm really not trying to be in that free energy every day of my life and be sending stuff out in my emails to people who are stingy and thinking I owe them something because I'm a woman of color. Like I'm on some type of list, like I need the bag. I'm not. Okay? So it's either you donate to the channel to get my new videos, or you got to watch the videos that's already on here. Now, you can call me any word you want. Like I know people want to say, I know it's coming. You're bitter. You're thirsty. If you put up over 2,000 videos and you see people letting you be insulted, you're insulted, harassed daily on a channel where people are not donating but just watching, you would be in this energy too. Okay, you would be in this energy too. So it's not that I'm bitter. I'm done. Okay, I'm done. I'm done being used. I gotta eat. I got bills to pay. I got to do things for myself too. Okay? If people don't like me and that's why they don't donate, stop watching my videos. I don't know why people watch people they don't like. I don't eat at people's houses I don't like. There's people that say, I'm not donating because her personality, fine. Get out of here. Don't watch no more free videos. Go to where your people's personality you do like. This is a real important month for me. And I'm being tested to see. The Creator is testing me to see if I'm going to let myself be used and abused and a people pleaser. My destiny requires me to be very independent, to be an investor, to expect returns for my hard work. I might have been very codependent in a past life, a people pleaser, controlled. My money might have been controlled. I might have been controlled. So in this life, I have to put taking care of myself as number one priority. And if I put videos up and I keep seeing only $80 in revenue, yeah, I went and looked at the analytics. I'm seeing only $80, $80 to $90 in revenue every single month. It would be higher than that if I was getting live chat donations. Okay? If the amount of people who are watching me was putting $2 on my YouTube a month, I would have $200 at least in revenue a month. Now y'all see the problem. When I look at my analytics and I see, oh, you got 90 returning subscribers, you got 60 that come but not subscribed. And I'm like, okay, I got all these returning subscribers, returning. Why are they not donating to this channel? Nobody can be that poor. I mean, nobody. You know, my daughter was 16 years old and had $5 in her pocket. Easily. So I find that people are thinking they can use me and like there's no karma because I'm a black woman. Like, I don't know why people think that they won't be held in judgment for taking advantage of me. But they can but they'll only be in judgment if they take advantage of LGBTQ or an Asian person. People be like, no, we can't use Asian people. No, we cannot use LGBTQ. We have to show gratitude. But people think there's no karma for using divine women who are black or African American. But wait till y'all see what goes on in the next few years. Now that 300,000 African American women have been laid off. This world is on its way down now. There's so many of us. There's so many women who are African American. There's a high number of us. So that's a lot of energy to be disrespected. We make up a lot of the workforce. And to disrespect us like this and generalize and stereotype us all and just think everybody can just get away with it because everybody's doing it. You know, people say my family's bullying me, but we're being bullied. People are bullying African American women by acting entitled to our help and taking advantage of us. All while sitting on YouTube and claiming that their parents are narcissists and they're bullied. If you're taking advantage of someone, you're still a bully. If you're taking advantage of someone's kindness and generosity, you're still a bully. You're like a covert bully. And that's narcissistic. I'm not going to keep using somebody for help and don't give back. That's narcissistic as hell. I cut off my entire family over that. I cut off my entire side of my mother's family over that exact reason. Constantly taking advantage of my generosity. The way I would charge in and fight for them. The way I would watch their kids all the time. Come and help them. Stand up for them. I'd be the first clapping. Their biggest fan. But nobody was doing it for me. I had to cry alone. I had to raise my baby by myself. When I realized that they was just all just taking advantage of me and it felt like bullying, covert type of bullying, I had to cut them all. I had to let them all go. Even one of my very best friends, my first cousin, who I loved like a sister, I had to let her go. Only coming through here for food, babysitting, just never giving nothing back. Never giving nothing back. Okay? Practice what y'all preach. If y'all don't want somebody doing it to y'all, don't do it to our creators. Don't do it to us. Maybe that's why you're stuck. Maybe not. Think about it. Maybe it's not always spell work what somebody did on you in your life. Are you taking advantage of entrepreneurs? Are you treating YouTube like it's a food bank every damn day? There's people on YouTube whose disability checks is not enough. So they got to do YouTube just to eat. Just to pay their medical bills. But if you think that YouTube is not a real job, but you still coming here and gobbling up the content, then you're full of crap. You're lying. If you expect us to show up on a weekly basis and you say you miss us when we don't show up, then don't sit up there and treat this like this ain't a job. Don't say, oh, that's not a real job, so I can just take what I want from YouTube all the time. Don't tell us that you miss us. Don't act like we ain't gonna want to talk to you in the chat. We're gonna want to just do the video and we're not really gonna want to connect. When somebody tell me, oh, I've been watching you for 6 months, I don't entertain them. If they didn't send $2 in my cash app, they didn't send $5. Everybody can afford $5. Okay, if I watch 50 videos on your channel, best believe I'm sending $5. Now, when people sit there and be like, oh, I've been watching you for 6 months. I was watching you way back when you was wearing hats, Miss V. I'm going to be like, no, I don't know you, brah. You ain't come through my cash app yet? Not yet. If y'all ever look on Pinterest, it say things to do to keep your relationships. One of the things on the list say to have a healthy relationship, it says when you visit friends and you visit helpers, it says don't come empty-handed. If you visiting people on YouTube and you keep coming and you ain't sharing no links, you're not helping to promote the person. You're not donating. You're coming empty-handed over and over and over again. When I go to friends' house, I'm not there just to talk and dump and get their information. I'm offering for help. I'm doing something because I can't come empty-handed. When I went to my sister's parties that they already did up, I would always stand up and be like, sister, you want me to serve the food? Any dishes you want me to put away? There's something about self-respect and dignity. Not helping yourself and taking too much. I would not have no self-respect. I would have self-hate. I don't even want to look at family in the morning and know that they busting their back for us to survive, and I'm going to sit up there and just say good morning and goodbye. No, see? Have some self-respect. Like when I wake up in the morning, I'll be like, this person is helping me to survive. I say, you want me to make you some breakfast? You want me to pack you some lunch? You need me to get your medication? You want a cup of bone broth? I go look to see if I can defrost their car. Even if I'm working part-time, even if I'm working, even if I'm doing YouTube. I'm first. I rush to do the work to help out. I want to be first in line. Because as the sun is rising, the creators is deciding who's going to get blessed. And the people that's rushing to help, they are the people that's getting blessed. If you think that you're just in this need, I'm stuck. No, everybody's stuck in some way. That's no excuse for sitting up there always trying to be last to help. There's people stuck in depression because their mama did, but they got $1 million in the bank. Nobody's going through their life without crises. Look at J-Lo, all those divorces she had. All those men, different men cheating on her, disrespecting her, live on The Voice and all, in front of people. She had to leave Anthony over it. But you know why people sit up there and say, I don't like J-Lo? You think it's because, oh, J-Lo conceded? It's because don't nobody hear her giving back? Don't nobody hear J-Lo producing the singers whose songs she was using? Don't nobody hear her giving credit to those songwriters? That's why people don't like her. She's too self-absorbed in the eyes of people. So you might get your needs met, but what is the point if nobody likes you? Everybody just say you're nothing but a taker. My legacy is going to be, she always was helpful. She was always somebody that fought for me. She used to babysit my kids. She would walk blocks to come see me, bring a bottle of wine, help me cook. People going to be able to say that about me when I die. They're going to be able to say that. I'm not even going to have a funeral because my funeral is going to be packed. When I tell y'all, there's going to be so many people. There's probably going to be. They're going to need counseling when I die. There's going to be people that's going to be like, I can't deal with this because that's how much I have given back. There's going to be whole grown men crying their eyeballs out to death when I die, because they'll be like, when I was stuck, stranded, she came through in the middle of the night. She came and gave me a jump on my car. There's people now, even today, even if I don't talk to for a whole year, as long as we didn't have some outrageous fight, if they call me and I can help them, I will help them. If I'm home and they say, I don't have no food, I will come through. I would have to be sick for me not to answer. Like, I'm getting over being sick right now. That's why I wasn't accepting no calls to help people over the last week. Okay, I'm starting to cough, family members coughing around me and stuff. I really didn't want to get nobody sick, and I had to sleep more. But I feel like when I don't help nobody, my day sucks. Not everybody feel that way. If I go a couple of days and I didn't help nobody, it wasn't a good week for me. My week going downhill. Maybe it was how I was raised. My mother always raised me and my siblings to help each other, help out. We always had people donating to our family. My mother was always my mother worked in, my sister was a family advocate and retired now. My mother is a retired child care provider and family advocate. And I am basically a retired caregiver for people with dementia. So I'm in a family where it's like, even if we don't talk, we could not talk for 5 years. And I call and be like, I'm stuck. My problem is some of my family went to the dark side and became self-absorbed because of the money that they got. See, some people forget that they got to keep helping when they get money. They get nice homes, they get fine men, educated kids, everything working out, and then they stop giving back. They stop caring, stop helping other people. The creator don't like those people. The creator don't like people to just use the angel system, and then when they get theirs, it's like, oh, F everybody else. That's how a lot of my family members started acting, so that's why I had to cut them off. I had to cut them off. I had family members that was living in the government homes, really in struggle energy, pretending like they was all, stoic, acting like givers. Now that they're, deluxe apartment in the sky, living it up, they're driving Dodge Vipers and stuff and living it up. Now it's like, oh, they want to talk about everybody. They want to hate on everybody. They want to think they're better than everybody and not give back. Giving is a life thing. It's not a year like this is my year of giving. It is not this is just my month of giving. No, giving back is your entire life. That's the secret for survival. When you are a giver, people can sense that you are. When you go out here, people can sense that. When you're a taker, a complaining taker that just complain and act like, oh, just pour me all the time, but you never giving back, the people that are givers are going to sense that you're like that. And we're like, no, I'm good. We'll be like, hi, bye. Hi, goodbye. Hi, goodbye. I know people who are only nice to you because you're a client or you're a customer. But as soon as they clock out of work, they got their nose up in the air. That's why I love to talk to people outside of work, because I want to see what they really like. People get on these jobs and they act like they got so much gratitude that, oh, they just givers. But as soon as they clock out, they don't even say hi, bye, nothing. They just rush to their car like, I never really liked you. I don't really want to give. I really didn't want to help you, but I was forced to. Those type of people I avoid. Hi, everybody. Okay. Some of y'all say y'all can't manifest, and this is for the givers. Some of y'all say y'all can't manifest it because y'all will not put y'all foot down. Y'all will not stop giving. You can't give all day. You can't just be running around here giving all day. You have a time of day you give, and then the rest of the day you're like, okay, y'all, okay, come on now. Y'all turn. It's your turn. It's your turn. If you gave to your family members this morning, it's their turn in the evening. If you gave to your friends last week, it's their turn this week. You hosted the lunch last week. They host the lunch this week. If they give you excuses, then they're not your friends. I had to cut off a lot of my karaoke friends because they wouldn't take turns driving. They had cars, but they always wanted me to do all the driving. Me paying for all the gas. I got tired of it. I said, why don't y'all pay for the gas sometime and y'all do the driving? Oh, I don't know. I just got surgery on my teeth, or I've worked all day. I don't feel like it. I'm like, you know what? I'm good. I just started doing karaoke by myself. What is the point? Okay, they want a chauffeur. They don't want a friend. They want a chauffeur. They want a butler or something. Hi, everybody. I just told a family member yesterday. I said, now for 3 days, you've been taking and taking and taking. For 3 days, it's you've been acting like you just in the take energy. You don't got no greetings. You don't got nothing to build me up. You got no emotional support. You got no help to offer. So I said, I ain't got no help for you today. Yesterday, I said, I'm good. When they seen I wasn't offering, I wasn't coming through, then they want to say, okay, what do you need? I'm like, see, I shouldn't have had to say that, though. You know I broke my neck. You know I'll be breaking my neck. for days on end. You need to come through here. Serious, y'all. And when they realized I was like, I'm keeping my distance because it's your turn, then they went and did my laundry. But I shouldn't have had to do that. It's sad. We're living in a narcissistic world where everybody's like, F everybody, I'm me, myself, and I. Okay. I'm going to leave you with yourself, too. I'm going to give to you the same that I would give to a homeless person who's able to work a little bit. A little bit. Because you're about your me, myself, and I energy. Hi, everybody. Oh, thank you very much. Look at your whisker. Y'all see him? Did y'all see Flick? Flick, you come back up here? You come back? Look at Flick, y'all. Y'all see him? Wait, let's see if we're going to do it again, y'all. Flicky, you coming? You want to come back up? Come back up here? Yeah? You can come up here? Bye-bye? Look, y'all. Y'all see Flick? Come on, Flick. Let me get you up here. I want y'all to see Flicky jump on me. Hey, boy. Flick. You come up here? Yeah. It's like he know he on video. So he jumping up. Come on. Somebody said nothing good to say on here. See, negativity. Luke, I saw you in here before. What, you just gonna keep coming in here with negative comments, huh? There's nothing good to say. Go look at the 2,000 videos I have on this channel and see if there's nothing good to say. Okay? You got 2,000, you got all these videos to watch on this channel that ain't costing you a dime. Practically free. Practically free, according to my analytics. So what are you complaining about, Luke? What? You're the same person that's probably sitting in your house saying, life sucks, society stinks. No, your attitude stinks. Your attitude stinks. Yeah. You just roll up in my live chat, throwing daggers. I done gave you more on this channel than some of those booty calls you had. You was better off with this. You were better off with this channel than those little one-night stands that you probably had. Don't come for me because I got a smart mouth. Don't. Nothing good to say on here. There was nothing good to say about that casual sex you had. When people got a nasty attitude out of nowhere, them is the same people that have casual sex all the time, playing with themselves all the time, hopping on the dating apps all the time. If you don't save your energy, that's why you're probably negative all the time. I can always sense the over-releasers. They just walk in negative. All right, y'all. I'll see y'all later. Have a wonderful day. Members, please check the videos for videos that I put up for y'all. Bye, everybody.